Hey everybody, welcome to Horror Views. I'm down here with my boy Queezman.
Indeed.
Zach. My name is Mike. We're going to be reviewing today The Sleeping Car. A movie that was made in 1990. We discussed this last time. And it stars, what's that guy's name? David Naughton, the guy from American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
And anyway, I think we went all over this. So we have what we call our sheet of terror, where we go through 7 factors in determining a review of a film. We feel like this will give you the best information to decide if you would like to see the film for yourself or not.
Okay, so what we got is, number 1, we have acting and characters, how well the characters performed in said movie. And then we also look at, for number 2, we also look at the scenery, how, like, where the movie was shot, how good they made it look, and all this stuff. And then number 3, we did scare factor, how much, like, the movie scares you, let's just say that.
Yeah.
Believability, whether or not this film is believable or would happen in real life. 5, social relevance, like whether they...
If there was anything controversial in the film.
Indeed, yes.
We bring that out.
Yeah. And then for number 6, we do special effects, like how well they did the special effects, like the props in the movie as well, and like how good they played it all out. And then number 7, we have questions from the movie, which like is questions we ask, like why did that happen, like, you know, how did he die, and all that stuff. So
well, and it can also be, you know, maybe answer some of your questions you might be thinking about the movie.
Indeed,
as well. Our whole point here is try to help you see that if you would like to see the movie, or, you know, you feel like it's not worth your time.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
All right, let's start with acting and characters.
All right, so the main character, as we said, was Jason McCree. You know, he was David Naughton, like we said. He was the main character in American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have a pretty high mark set for how he acts after. And let's just say he wasn't up to par. It was kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
He told a lot of jokes in the movie that honestly weren't that funny.
Yeah.
He said kind of the same kind of jokes in American Werewolf in London, but because the movie was so good,
yeah,
you know, it kind of made it good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like we said, his acting wasn't all that great.
Yeah.
I actually don't think he did a whole lot of work in movies after this movie.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me wonder if his heart just wasn't in movie making anymore.
Yeah.
Going down to Kimmy, his girlfriend, the love interest in the movie.
Yeah.
Her acting was honestly B-movie quality. She was seemed to be forcing lines. She was trying too hard to act involved. She just didn't really seem to be believable to me as the love interest in the movie.
Yeah.
The next is Professor Bud, played by the late Jeff Conaway. He died a few years back. It's one of the only movies he did, actually. And maybe the reason why is because of this movie. His acting was incredibly over the top.
Indeed it was, yeah.
For the character he's trying to play was, you know, this cool professor that all the kids would want to get to know and hang out with. He was very loud and could actually be annoying at times. He also fit the classical B-movie style, over the top dramatic performance.
Indeed.
He started up, you know, they started up a club paper. I can't even remember what it was called. That had something to do with sex, and I'm like, I don't think that's ever going to happen in a college.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and then we have Dwight. Dwight. What can we say about why that guy was a freaking tool? Well, he liked beer, obviously, but he could not act for the life of him. He sucked total. Oh, he just sucked so bad.
Yeah, when the best acting is when you're floating in a river and it's a dummy.
Yeah.
That's the best looking part of you. I think it kind of explains what you are.
Oh my gosh. Miss Erickson, man, the conductor's wife. Yeah, she had a B-movie talent as well. She way too much drama in her role. What the frick was up with that? Why was she required to act like a total biatch? Why?
Have no idea. I can't figure that one out, but
yeah. And well, anyway, she's pissed off because the conductor, he did what he did. He left her alone, didn't he? Or did she leave?
Well, I guess you reminded me earlier that she actually killed him.
Yeah, she killed him.
And it was inside of the train car.
Then she buried his body.
Yeah, but we don't know why. I mean, what happened for him to kill him? Because the whole time she's saying that, she stayed where she was and he stayed where he was.
She didn't want anything to do with him.
Yeah, I guess, when you do that, you risk maybe a ghost spirit running around.
Yeah.
So let's get over to Mr. Tuttle.
Yeah.
Many of you probably recognize this man, Kevin McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
Very well-known actor, star of theater and stage.
Yep.
Been in Hollywood for 50 to 60 years.
Yeah.
Amazing actor, amazing talent.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he's an icon in the industry.
Yes, indeed, he is, actually.
And I'm sure a lot of people probably wondering why he took this part. I mean, he's done so much work.
Yeah.
Who got him to come into this basically B-style movie? However, his presence as the White Witch, it did add class to the movie. It made it overall more interesting. It kind of gave it a little more clout.
Yeah, indeed. Alright, so the Mister, or Conductor, or whatever you want to call him, he actually did very well in his role, better than the main character. So, we see the role actor in human form as well. He did as well as he could for his part. I think he kind of played it out, laid down some rules, and, I'm going to follow this and all this stuff. He was pretty freaking creepy, too, I mean.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, just like seeing him in those pictures in his wife's house. He was kind of a spooky looking dude.
Indeed. Alright, so number 2, we're going to move on to the scenery. Alright, so the movie begins with Jason driving down on a California freeway. So we must assume that the movie took place there. The scenery takes place basically between 3 places: the train car, the school, and the bar.
Yeah. So let's leave that and go on to scare factor.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, it is a horror movie, so it makes sense, but the real scares only came from when the conductor showed up, really.
Indeed.
There were some scary scenes, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first time, remember, Jason saw the image of the conductor when he was looking at the couch?
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah. I remember, yeah.
And then, if you remember, Jason had a couple dreams. I don't know if the conductor got into his head or what, but he had some pretty crazy dreams about nightmare things that were happening.
Indeed, killing his wife and just saying, "And now you die."
Yeah, killing his ex-wife was actually in the movie, and she died in the movie. But we didn't think she was too relevant to it, and
no, she didn't play crap.
She didn't play a big role.
No.
Another interesting thing that happened was Kimmy actually was basically possessed at one point by the conductor and the Mister.
Yeah.
He actually got in her eyes changed white or something.
Like she was blind or something.
Yeah, and she tried to kill Jason.
Yeah.
So the final few minutes of the movie had some great background music and special effects.
Oh, indeed.
The end of that movie was pretty cool. The conductor was at top form.
Yeah, he was.
One interesting part right toward the end was Jason was trying to kill the conductor.
Yeah.
He stuck a knife into him.
And
basically, just kind of gooed out of his stomach onto the ground. He laughed some more, and that was pretty crazy.
The end of the Mystery came with the show of loving and forgiveness. When Jason finally forgive the conductor for all, you know, the events that happened earlier in the movie. Yeah.
What the F with that, dude?
Yeah, what kind of ending is that?
I've never seen a movie where the protagonist, the scary, the mean, you know, demon or whatever he is, the other character has to hug him.
He used to be killed by love and forgiveness.
Yeah, really interesting.
Oh, wow.
Let's go on to number 4, believability.
Yeah.
You know, if you can imagine a ghost, you know, maybe after grisly death or whatever, if you can imagine the idea that a ghost is living in a place, you can believe that.
Yeah, but
you know?
The rest of the story, no, heck no, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, it was pretty uneasy to believe.
Indeed. Alright, so now we move on to number 5, social relevance. There's a lot of premarital sex.
A lot of alcohol.
Indeed, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you know, these things happen in movies nowadays, more.
Well, a lot of horror movies. But I mean, horror movies typically seem to require boobies and that kind of thing now.
To take away the crappiness that the movie truly is.
Yeah, actually, that is why they do it. They're trying to hook people by, you know, the promise of boobs and booty.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. I mean, Friday the 13th. I mean, perfect example. There were always people having sex right before Jason killed them.
Yeah.
So.
Of course, Jason had to watch first, but who wouldn't? Okay, so let's go on to number 6, special effects. So we pretty much all covered that in earlier when we covered the scare factor. The effects were actually pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
I liked the way that the Dwight died. It was kind of ridiculous, which made it kind of funny as well. I mean, you know, the little comedy in there. What's wrong with that?
Well, my favorite part is when he goes out the window. How do you go? The conductor threw him out the window or something.
I don't know.
And so they show him floating down the river.
Well, I mean, he had
totally fake look.
I know, he had to get rid of him somehow. They had to get rid of the dummy somehow.
Why didn't he just put him underneath the trailer, though? Because, I mean, that's where he put all his victims when he was alive. He put their bodies under the trailer. Why didn't he hide him down there with the rest of the corpses?
Because you gotta think of the fact, bro, that if he puts him down there and he doesn't bury him, he comes to life and they have a big old fight.
Oh.
He didn't want to fight the dude, that's why he put him in the river.
Oh, yeah, the nerd against the conductor.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go on to the questions for the movie. We have several questions, but we don't want to take 30 minutes of your time to go over them. Let's go over a few.
Yeah.
So, how did the Mister die originally?
Well, we learned that actually his wife killed him. Somehow.
Yeah, his wife actually did kill him.
Somehow.
Yeah, I don't think we know how.
I'm assuming he got burned, though, because of the way his skin looks, but I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, like...
Just look on the freaking picture, guys. Look at your screen, man. You can see the guy's face.
Yeah, he looks like totally fried.
Or something.
Wouldn't that burn up the car, too, though? Anyway.
Well, maybe she did it outside. I don't know. Who knows?
Well,
she also said she buried him, but he came back to life somehow.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Go ahead, Zach. You ask the next one. That was your big one you wanted to ask.
Okay, so why the heck every time this happened, like what, 2 to 3 times?
I think it's at least 3.
Alright, so most of the conductor's victims in this movie, they were looking around in Jason's house, and they're like, oh, you know, and then they open up the freaking fridge, pull out a beer, and start drinking it. Immediately after, like, they sit down on the couch, they die. What the frick? Is the beer haunted? Is that how he gets there?
The conductor haunted the beer.
Yeah.
Well, what I don't understand, too, is why in the crap they walk into his house? I mean, did they not respect his privacy?
And
they knock on the door, and then they just walk right in?
Why didn't Jason have the door locked? I mean, he had to have a key or something.
Yeah, she did give him a key.
Yeah.
And then another one is, why was the couch the center of the conductor's rage? Is that possibly where his wife killed him?
Possibly.
I mean, maybe she killed him and put his body in the couch. Because that's where all of these events, almost all the events take place. Well, I mean, on the couch.
I mean, if you remember at the very beginning, that would make sense. Because when he pulled back the sheet, he saw his dead body there. Like he's like,
Oh,
bruh.
yeah. Oh,
So,
that's right.
Maybe you did die.
You
on
know,
the
yeah, you
couch.
probably did. The more you think about it.
Yeah,
Another question: why so many scenes in the bar?
indeed.
I mean, I don't understand that. Do people really go to a bar like every couple hours or something?
Just to freaking talk. I mean, what the crap,
Yeah.
man? What's up with that? I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed to switch back from the school to the bar to his house.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's only the real places that they covered.
Yeah.
Another question I have was, why was the Professor Bud really there? What did he do to become a college professor?
Indeed.
And,
I mean, that guy seems like an idiot. I don't know how he did it.
well, why was Jason there? I mean, we kind of have an idea that...
Well, Jason was there because he, for one, he got divorced, and for two, he actually wanted to start a profession by, basically...
Getting a degree.
Indeed, yeah.
Is what he said.
I mean, he did write a newspaper. He was the chief editor, so I don't know. Maybe he wanted to...
This is what I don't know. Why didn't he just work and go to school at the same time? A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder why he got kicked out of where he did.
Yeah. And then, was the train car one of the ones on the train line to hell? Because, I mean, like in the beginning of the movie, you see two trains collide.
That was pretty cool facts, actually.
Yeah, it was. It was a passenger train and a, what do you call those?
Commercial train.
Commercial train,
whatever.
Yeah. Or whatever.
Yeah, and they collided. And
yeah, they collided. Was that one of the trains? I mean, we don't know. Did it stop? I mean, it was only a car. It was only two kind of places. So.
Well, Mr. Tuttle was in one.
Yeah.
And Jason took up the other one.
But before Jason took up the other one, we obviously know that the conductor lived there because
the conductor was there.
She vanished him out there,
him.
so I don't know.
Yeah, just to add real quick, I think that the train cars were really creepy.
Oh,
I think they added a lot to this movie. They were really good.
Indeed.
Let's move on to booty meter, and overall score, Zachy.
All right, so for the booby meter, we saw 4 boobies, 2 pairs. All right.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
They're tight.
They were nice and round and plumpy and everything. All right, and so booty meter, we saw 1. I believe it was Kimmy's, right?
So it was 1 cheek then, because we don't have a 2 on it.
Yeah. So for a ground total, 5 out of 10 for the booby and booty meter combined. So we got a 5 out of 10. And
all right, let's move on to our rating.
Our rating for this movie, what we think it should have been rated.
It was kind of interesting because out of 10, I came up with a 6.5.
I came up with a 6, but I just decided to go with the 6.5 because I felt like I was kind of thinking about the 2 trains colliding and like the special effects they did. I thought that was cool. I thought the way at the end, how when he's hugging him, how all the images came flashing to him, I thought that was cool. So I decided to bump it up 0.5%.
Well, just to let you know about the movie, we watched the movie about a month ago and watched it for just fun factor.
Yeah.
It was actually a pretty cool movie.
It was.
I mean, the scenes with the Mister are great.
They were.
So, I mean, it's definitely a movie you may want to check out. It's on Netflix right now, so if you have Netflix, you can see it for free.
I mean, we kind of
pretty good movie.
Yeah, we kind of thought that it was, it wasn't as good as when we watched it for fun, but then we realized we were getting all the information for this video. We were kind of covering stuff that should not be covered when watching a movie. Yeah. So I mean, it kind of ruined the movie a little bit. We thought of it less, but then again, we were going through every detail, you know.
Yeah, check it out. It's a good watch.
It is a good movie.
Pretty cool movie.
If you're just watching it for fun, it's an awesome movie. I recommend it. It's freaking dope. All right, so this is the end of the review. One more thing before we go. All credit goes to Trimark, a division of Vidmark, and as well as to the director/producer, Douglas Curtis. We got to give him all the credit, and all the others who helped in the making of this movie and/or people involved. So we do not own any of the content. We do not take any credit for this content, and well, hope you guys enjoyed.
One more thing. Oh, is that it?
Yeah,
we didn't mention anything about the marijuana from London.
Oh yeah.
We probably didn't need to.
Eh.
All right, let's see how long it was. I think it was longer than 20 minutes.